people got so caught up in the eroticism aspect of what I was exploring and getting into and writing about, that I think now that I've come up with this record, and all of a sudden everyone's saying, "Oh, she's changed so much. She's a different person," and I'm more experienced. I'm older and wiser, but I think romances have been a big part of everything that I've written.
There's kind of sweetness to some of the songs on the record too, though.
Or like bittersweetness.
I meant to say a bittersweetness.
Yeah.
But is there a guy in your life who's changed things?
Getting to the really important question.
This is the important thing.
Actually, the songs are about a lot of different
guys.
Well, not just men. I mean, Inside of Me sounds like it's a love song, but it's actually about my mother. You know, I tend to collect thoughts and as I go through life, and a lot of times it takes me a long time before I can come to terms with maybe a relationship I had years ago. You know what I mean? And I finally found a way to talk about it or write about it. So it's not even necessarily something that was happening to me currently, but my reflection on something that happened.
Inside of Me being about your mother, it's interesting. Being from a family that has breast cancer, and it must be a haunting thing, I would imagine. Is it?
Absolutely. I mean, my mother died when she was very young, and you know, when I got to be, she was 31 years old, and when I got to be, I mean, my whole life was about you know, 31. When I get to be that age, is that going to be my death sentence? Is that what's going to happen to me? And when I finally passed that age and I was still alive, I can sort of breathe again.
In secret, the video is Madonna in the company of many, many black people. Is that a typical night out for you? Do you go to clubs in Harlem? Or?
I do, actually, but one of the reasons I shot it in Harlem is because I thought that, I mean, I think people traditionally think of Harlem as being this ghetto where everybody's like sad and people are full of despair and there's no hope. And I walk down the streets, I mean 125th Street in Lenox, and I see beautiful, beautiful people and beautiful children playing on the streets, and I see incredible, beautiful brownstones. I mean, that is a beautiful part of Manhattan, and I discovered a lot of beauty there, and I thought, since the song is about discovering a secret, that I liked combining that.
Just before starting work on bedtime stories, with much public consternation still lingering from her sex book escapade, Madonna made a raucous appearance on the David Letterman show. You were on his show saying all these...
Bad words?
Bad words.
Yes, I know, but it was a performance.
What brings you are a sick... I don't know why I get so much...
You realize this is being broadcast, don't you?
Yeah.
It wasn't a real argument between us, and
Was Dave aware of this?
he knew the gist of what was going to happen.
Is that a rug?
You're talking about my hair. All right, what is that, a swim cap? What are you wearing? Come on, let's go. Here we go.
It was like a snowball, you know. I mean, it was like everybody freaked out about it, and then I think Dave freaked out about it a little bit. But you know what? Dave was never, you know, I called him up to, when they asked me to do the MTV Awards, I said, well, you know, who do you want to do it with? And I couldn't think of anybody. It's like, I thought, if I come out with anyone, there's got to be some kind of symbolism. It's got, like, who do I want to join forces with? Who do I want to, you know, represent myself with? And I thought, wouldn't it be great to come out with David Letterman? Because everyone thinks we're in this, like, huge world war. And so I called him up and asked him. And I said, Dave, are you ready to bury the hatchet? He goes, there is no hatchet.
I'll be in the car.
Watch your language.
He was very agreeable and actually so nervous. It was really touching.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he was green. And he was so sweet the way he was gripping my arm as we walked out on the stage. But, you know, I have to say I adore him. I know that sounds completely perverse, but I do. I'll never explain again.
What have you made of Rhonda since you've been here? This is a deeply Catholic region of the
This is
country.
a deeply beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. But it's one of the oldest cities in the world. And there's no McDonald's, there's no 7-Eleven. And I'm just enjoying that. It's just, we were in a house yesterday, it's 500 years old. And it's so beautiful. So I love it here.
Okay, here we go. Action. Go, go.
Is this a typical Madonna video? I mean, this is a really big production.
Well, yeah, it's expensive and...
Not your money, though.
Well, it kind of is my money.
Yeah.
If you know how videos work, I mean, you know, you get in advance and then start making money on your records, and then that record company just sucks it back out of you. So.
But I mean, are they always this complicated logistically?
Well, this is hard just because we're shooting it in a foreign country, and we're using a lot of foreign crews, and I mean, it's mostly an English crew, but then for the extras we have to have Spanish crew people to translate, and it's kind of complicated.
I'll just give you a cue. Everyone's quiet, and then when I cue you, you just say he's been hit.
I'll have a kid fall.
Okay.
Jerónimo, te toca. So when you say now, he's gonna fall. Cuando él te hace el gesto, te vas a caer aquí, ¿vale?
Silencio, por favor. Roll camera.
Roll speed.
Y acción.
Roll speed.
Y ahora.
The easiest way to do a video, of course, is just tuck into a studio for a couple of days and knock the thing out under controlled conditions. The advantage of coming out on location is natural beauty and exotic appeal, but it does have its drawbacks.
It's a complete different strategy in lighting and in looking at anything, because what you do is that instead of going in there and trying to overpower what you have, you really use the sets you have. And you walk in a room and you look around and you say, the light is right here. Yeah. It's really nice. And you don't have the room to put big lights out and do things.
Is this like one of the more difficult shoots you've done as a location thing? It's cold, it's far away.
It's cold, it's far away, but actually it's not. It's gone surprisingly well. I mean, the running through the streets yesterday was a little bit difficult with crowds, but and heels, exactly. But it's gone pretty smoothly. I don't know why. I've had much tougher shoots.
Such as what?
Well, first of all, in rain, I had to get water dumped on me for 5 days. I mean, I'm not into being cold. That's my thing, you know. It's cold right now, yes, as you can see. I have my...
Your fake fur on.
Yes, my fake fur. Instead of spring, it's always winter.
In addition to the chilly weather, Madonna had to contend with a publicity onslaught by a celebrity-oriented animal rights group.
Well, I've already gotten flack from animal rights people because everyone said, oh, you're, you know, glorifying bullfighting, you're going to be hurting the bull, and rumors started, and suddenly I was, you know, lining up bulls and shooting them with rifles. Well, you know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
I don't believe that any organization should dictate to me what I can and can't do artistically, and the fact of the matter is we didn't harm any bulls while we were shooting, and we went out of our way to make sure that that wouldn't happen.
But somebody told me you actually bought them and they're going to retire to a farm somewhere.
Yeah, because they're bred and raised to be fought, and once we use them in the shoot, they're no good to the bullfighter anymore. So they let them go. And they live the rest of their lives eating grass. So
Sweet.
I saved 3 bulls. Okay.
Bullfighting like men.